What's up, everybody? Welcome to season 2 of The Recess, man. This is Coach E, OF Guru. I got my main man, Coleman, here with me to kick off season 2 of The Recess. The Recess is a podcast dedicated to shining a light on urban baseball, softball across the country. And the wonderful things that's going on. Before we get into the interview and to sit down with my main man, Coleman, make sure y'all click below, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Make sure y'all share it with somebody, like it, ring that bell, and do all those wonderful things. So, Ro, can you talk to the audience and for those who don't know you, a little bit about your baseball journey?
No, for sure, man. Hey, foremost, man, appreciate you having me on this, man. Long time coming, man. I'll be seeing you doing your thing. You got it popping now. That's what's up, man. But no, I appreciate it. Ro Coleman, in the city of Chicago, West Side. You know, we got a lot of South Siders and stuff like that, but no, I'm from
West Side in the middle.
On the West Side, the best side, you already know. But no, man, played baseball my whole life, come from a baseball family. End up going to wonderful school like Vanderbilt, play a little pro ball with the Tigers. Now just back giving game and trying to provide more opportunity for these shorties coming up.
Absolutely, man. You got some great and wonderful things going on. We're going to dive into that. But I know you mentioned Vanderbilt, right? Vanderbilt is the mecca of college baseball. Can you talk to the audience about your experience at Vanderbilt University?
No, man. Hey, man. Vandy, it was crazy because, like, people look at Corbs as more so just a great baseball coach. He's just a great human being. And being at that school, it's more, he cares about you as a person more so than a ball player. And when he said you come to Vanderbilt, he's gonna make sure you straight for the rest of your life. That's something that he definitely does. And I mean, that was the big selling point when I committed on my official there. I didn't take no more officials, anything. It was me and he was like, Pops like, what you want to do? I was like, I want to be a Commodore. And from there, it was like, man, once I got on campus, it was definitely for sure coming from inner city. The academics was a culture shock for real. A lot of people don't know that, but I tell it how it is. I flunked out my first semester. I had to write a letter to the deans and all that to get back in for the spring semester. But after that, it's like, all right, man, it's time to take advantage and use my resources and all that. But it was special, man. Made a lot of great people, not just from my teammates, but throughout that community. Played with some first rounders, number one pick, big leagues and things like that. People that's doing big things, man. But man, it's a blessing. Now I'm back here in Nashville. I didn't think I was gonna live here at first, and I was like, man, this not like Chicago. I can't do it. But it grew on me as I grew as a person. And Vanderbilt, it was special, man. It shaped me into the person I am today for sure.
Absolutely, man. Major shout out to Tim Corbin, head coach, Vanderbilt University. Make sure when you watch this, man, give us a like, man. Share it with somebody. So, came from the inner city of Chicago, man. West Side, played at Simeon, the mecca. I know people gonna comment on this. The mecca of sports schools in Chicago, and also went on to Vanderbilt and played for the Detroit Tigers. So all that 20-odd-some years of baseball, what's your most memorable moment in baseball?
Man, win the national championship. Like, I don't think you get there. It's like the whole time you're there, it's like you in a dream. It's surreal. And then that last strike is called. You like, man, you just did it. It was special. And to be the first national men's team to win one at Vanderbilt. It was big time, man. It was, as a freshman, being able to play in that game, like it was special. No, it was definitely. That natty, I don't think a lot of things gonna top that one right there.
Yes, sir. And the unique thing is, and I know Coach Smoke, he's listening in. We talked about, like, I can't name anybody that I personally know that won a college national championship, because a lot of people, y'all watching this, that's almost harder than winning the World Series. Like, because you in college is different elements, the whole enchilada, right? About nerves deserting you in baseball, right? So I talk about this all the time. Like, I only know one person won a college national championship. I've known people that won the World Series and all that, right? But it's one person I ever met, and that was you that won a college national champion. So that's like the baseball unicorn. You know what I'm saying?
No, for sure, man. Especially like Nettles was the first one to do it from the city, and it was just like for me, like to be able to do that and come from where we come from, man. First game in the College World Series, played against Corey, played against Louisville, it was crazy. So it's just like, nah, that College World Series, Omaha is different.
Absolutely. So you talked about you're living in Nashville now. You recently started a not-for-profit organization giving back to kids across the Nashville and the greater Nashville community, right? Talk about, give us the name of the not-for-profit and what you guys doing and what makes that not-for-profit so special.
No, man. Name out non for foundation is Empowerment Pursuit. Started it with one of my not former friend, my close friend Ryan White, and who played football at Vanderbilt, and Jared Parker, who I met 3 years ago once I retired, who pitched in the big leagues, and we just knew we wanted to do something to be able to create more opportunities for these kids in these underserved communities, but also like bridge that gap between diversity and start bringing communities together. And our main focus is to make these kids become better athletes, people, and leaders within the community. And we've been fortunate to have a lot of good people that's behind us and pushing to make it work. And it's been a real good blessing. And we've been able to accomplish a lot of things. Even with COVID happening last year, we were still able to push forward. And we got a lot of good things coming, not just to Nashville, but something we want to be able to take across the nation to help grow this game.
Absolutely. And that's what, we started the Recess podcast to actually shine light on that so people can hear the message of what's going on. And that's going to lead me to my next question. If someone wants to, help you guys out or find out more information, where can they find out about your foundation?
Oh man, it's simple. Empowermentpursuit.org, right? I don't know, you could do it on Zoom, I could type it or whatever, but empowermentpursuit.org. That's it. You got all our information and everything on there.
Absolutely. I'll make sure when I edit this video, it'll pop up. I'm making it pop up right now. Empowermentpursuit.org.
And then you follow me on Instagram, it's right in my bio too. So
okay. I'm gonna shift gears a little bit, right? Because I've been seeing a trend going on, social media and everything. Is like a huge debate going on right now with the Major League Draft cutting back to what, 20 rounds now?
Yeah, 20.
20, right? These top high school prospects, they get an offer from a Power 5 school and then they get drafted out of high school as a top prospect, right? So they're battling with making that decision. What's your advice on choosing pro baseball right out of high school or going to JUCO, four-year university, or, actually what's the thing that will make someone make that decision? How do you decide that?
No, man. I think with that, you have to know what type of person you are. That's a big leap coming out of high school. You going to play with guys that 3-4 years in college. Some dudes pro ball for a long time. Some dudes 20 years older than you, and I think it's a big jump. I'm not gonna sit here and say, man, one or the other is the best decision. I think you knowing what type of person you are and what you're trying to do is what gonna lead you to that right ultimate decision. But the statistics show if you go to school, you're more than likely to play at the highest level, which is the major leagues. So, man, I think even with kids that do go out of high school, make sure you get them to pay for your schooling because you need utilize that education. Because most of these kids, if you are considered to be a high draft pick out of high school, you more than likely are committed to one of these bigger D1s or whatever it may be. If it's bigger or not, like go to school. But I think it's more so just knowing what type of person you are, knowing where you really want to go, knowing if you can really, hey, if I get out here with these dudes, I'm not just gonna be the best player no more. It's cats from across the world that 16 years old, 16, 17 years old, coming from these islands that they don't care. They don't care about you. They don't care about you. You ain't back playing with your homies no more. You ain't doing none of that. So it's a dog world, and you got to be ready for that next transition. And for me personally, like I had the opportunity. I got drafted out of high school. And of course it was a 40th round, and of course I wasn't gonna sign anything like that, but but I mean, I know some people that have get drafted in the later rounds and sign, but I think if it ain't that check ain't where it's gonna be able to make a big change for your situation financially. Like, and it's not even just about that, but I mean that's a big component too. Like it's life changing money, so you got to think about those things as well. So I think you just got to know, man. Whatever is the best decision for you and your family. I think that's where it's at. It's not no some kids you go to school or you go to high school, go out of high school. Like whatever's the best decision for you and your family.
Man, thank you for sharing that. And that's going to lead me to my next question. In your opinion, right, there's no right or wrong answer. I've never met anyone who answered this question the right way, or, there's no, black and white way to answer this question. But I'm wrestling with, because I know Major League Baseball has a clause to where if you sign out of high school, they have money allocated for you to go back to college and everything. What's the number one reason why high school people who get dropped out of high school, they don't utilize that and get their degree?
Number one reason, man, because you trying to get to the league. you trying to get to the league. So, and because you haven't experienced that college environment, you don't know what those next steps are and how to even take to lead towards that process. And I think like playing pro ball is very time consuming. And from you coming straight from 18, 19 years old, like that's tough to say, hey, I'm gonna go get my schooling and I'm gonna be working out in the off season and things like that. It's tough. So I think it's you trying to get to the league. Like you really trying to get to the league. And you gotta, like I said, you gotta know if you going to high school, you gotta be very mature, knowing what you're trying to do. You gotta be about your business. And honestly, I think that's a question that they should ask them. Like, if I go out of high school, will I go to school within the next 2 years? And I think if that's something that you can't answer, I feel like go to school. Because the longer you push it off, the more you go be like, man, I ain't doing that. So I think that's a big question to ask right there. Like, am I going to try to pursue my education within the first 2 years of pro ball?
Facts. Dropping gems, dropping jewels. Because it's this, it's the recess. I'm gonna give we talk raw, it's organic, right? It's this spell going around in the black baseball culture and community of we want to train like a pro, we want to do it like a pro. And I push college, right? I echo college because guess what? Your pro days are gonna be nothing, right? And then you also brought up if it's not life-changing money, and me and Coach Broom talked about that, he just jumped on and he'll kind of jump in on this. But if it's not life-changing money, and a lot of people don't understand what life-changing money means. Life-changing money, in my opinion, means if you put your money up, you can live off the rest of your life, right? It's not something to where you buy a house and you're struggling to pay your bills and everything like that. But that's another episode that we'll have to get into with our financial guys and everything like that. But I'm so glad that you brought up go to college, right? Because look at the stats even show, I think it's what, 46% of all Major League Baseball players play in a 4-year university, right? That just came out. And I think that not myself, but people around me that's trainers and, coaches that went minor leagues and all that, like, we got to stop saying, hey, we shoot for pro. Like, stop. Like, stop it. You know what I mean? How do you feel about that, Ro?
No, man, you shooting to be the best that day. Like, that's your goal. How can I get better, 1% better each day? Like, this day I'm coming to work right here. My goal is to be good for the day I'm in right now. So then the next day is the game, I'm prepared. Then once I go to college, I'm prepared. Whatever it may be. So you ain't, because you thinking ahead in the future instead of standing in the moment. I think that's the biggest thing that means something Corbs always preach, like always stay in the moment. Stay in the moment. And that's the main thing. When you focusing on staying in the moment, if it's in for you to go pro, you go pro right out of high school or whatever it may be. So it's just like stand in that moment, focusing on what I'm trying to accomplish at that time and day. And I think that's going to help you navigate to that next step in life.
Absolutely, man. Ro, thank you so much for joining me on the recess. Ro, if somebody want to get in contact with you, can you drop your email, your social media tag, and your website and everything like that?
Yeah, so my email is rocoleman11@gmail.com. It's RO, not ROE. It's RO Coleman at number11@gmail.com, and my Instagram is Coleman1, and I think my Twitter is Coleman1 too. Then Facebook is just Coleman. Man, anybody feel free to shoot me an email, shoot me a DM, whatever. I'm an open book, and I'm all about giving game and helping out in any way I can.
Absolutely, man. Ro, thank you so much for joining me on the Recess. This is Coach E, OF Guru. Make sure y'all subscribe to the YouTube channel. Check us out next week. Make sure you share it with somebody. Ring the bell. All right, Ro.
No, for sure.